Hi, welcome to yet another beautiful episode on Super Soul Sisters. Hi sisters, hi brothers, it is yet another beautiful day, another beautiful person to interview. On this one, I'm sure you're going to be excited. My name is Sharon Chundusha and welcome. Now, she's a songstress, a writer, an actress, appeared in so many movies including The Last King of Scotland, the hit series Now, Prestige. Ladies and gentlemen, help me welcome Cleopatra Koheirwe. Hi!
Hi,
Hi,
thank
sister.
you. Hi, sister.
Welcome to Super Soul Sisters.
I'm so happy to be here.
Thank you. Thank you so much for creating time for us. We understand you're a very, very busy lady.
Oh my God, and thank you for creating time for me too.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's an
Yes.
honor. We can't have Super Soul Sisters, I think, without you.
Oh.
Yes, we've sort of seen you in different spheres of life. We've seen you in movies. We've seen you as a dancer. I was actually thinking when I was told to prep for this interview, I was thinking about obsessions. Like the only thing that came to my mind when they said, "Oh, you're going to interview Cleopatra Koheirwe," I'm like, Django, Django. You're going to interview Cleopatra Koheirwe. I'm like, Django, Django. Yes.
That song touches me. Like it's even in Kenya, people just know Jangu Jangu.
Do people still recognize? Like, do people know?
Yes,
Like, you're one of the.
they still recognize me. I think because of the gap that I have,
You
the
stood out?
asthma, I stood out. So it's surprising sometimes because you might meet someone like, oh wait, were you the one? I'm thinking they're going to say something recent, and like obsession. I'm like, oh my God, you remember?
Yes.
Yeah, but it's amazing. It was a good journey and a good also start into the professional world. Yeah.
Ah, okay. When did you join Obsessions? At what age?
2001, I was I had just joined university. Yeah, that's when I professionally joined them.
As in P1.
You were in P1, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're babies. Oh my God! And now look at us. We
I
are
know,
sisters.
right? Yes, sisters. Super Soul Sisters. Now, when we talk about Cleopatra Koheirwe, who is Cleopatra Koheirwe?
Cleopatra Koheirwe is a lover of the arts, a mom. Without the career things, I'm just a loving, outgoing person, but a little bit introverted.
Yes.
like in a way, I kind of like my space.
Yeah,
And
I think you can pick it up from when someone says you yes, there's like that. I think I can pick.
you can tell
Yes,
like
I can tell.
yeah.
Yes, yeah.
I'm out there, but I'm again closed off.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, interesting. How did you get into the arts? You said Cleopatra, a love of the arts. How did you get
Yes.
into the arts?
I loved the arts since I was a child, and then also the schools that I was going to, like since primary and all that, creative things, cultural art performances, you're there.
MDD.
You're there. Singing, choir, I was there. And my mom used to love watching me perform. She was like my greatest fan, I think, before I even knew that I was really going to get into this industry. Rest her soul. So when the time I officially saw it like something I could really take on as a career was when I joined Namasagali College. And Namasagali College was a school that was known for the arts, majorly, because they used to really promote talent. So if you were a singer, Juliana Kanyomozi went there. Rebecca Kadaga was from that school as well. She
No
went there.
MDD, clearly. Politics.
No MDD, but like we have people, Bitature, Patrick Bitature. So we have different people that have been there. But then in the arts, then there was Alex Ndaula, the late.
Yes.
There was
Radio
also,
presenter.
who else? I have so many, and right now they've got. But we have many people who have been to that school that are in the arts right now. Well, there's Frobisha Luanga. He's a part of the comedy skit. The guys that were with Anne Kansime. Yeah, they're usually performing at the theater, Fun Factory. Yeah, most of them are at Namasagali. So when I went to Namasagali, it showed me that, you can actually do this professionally. And because we used to go to the National Theater to stage our plays, our musicals, with our headmaster was called Father Grimes. And that was my A-level then. Now if you're in P1, when I was in a campus first year, then now in A-level, you were not born, right?
I bet.
Or you are in diapers. So yeah, and I took it seriously after that. I just prayed. I kept praying for a time when I would be able to actually do more of the arts than having to balance. Because in Uganda, it's just recent that you can maybe have work and you're acting all the time like I'm doing right now. Before you used to have to do another job to balance with it. Yeah, when the job comes of acting, it comes because the jobs are not that many. The projects were not that many. And production houses were not that many, you know? Yeah. So I used to act more. When I started acting, I was acting more in Kenya than here.
Now, usually, even with the African parents, there was really the acceptance that came with kids deciding to do the arts. Perhaps music, dancing, that just never looked like it would be a bright future for you.
Yeah, like I was like, are you serious? How are you going to pay your bills?
Exactly. But you say your mom was very supportive. You haven't said anything about
my
your
mom
dad.
passed before I even started doing this. She passed when I was, I think, 15. I wasn't done with secondary school yet. So it's my guardians, my mom's big brother, who's a doctor, is a scientist and was a soldier. So that was a hard one to crack. He wasn't having it. He really didn't think that it would work. Even up to now, in a way, he's proud. But then again, he's like, but those things, are they paying? Now you could have a job where you're getting a, where you're getting all the benefits and what? And I'm thinking, I know what I'm doing, you know. So he still worries sometimes, I think, because the industry is a hard one. And if you are somebody who's really working for your craft and you're genuine with it, it's not that easy. It's not the kind where you make money just, you know. It takes time, but I believe that it's working for me now. Yeah.
What about your dad? You haven't said anything about your dad.
My dad died before I was born. I never met him. Yeah, he died when my mom was pregnant with me. So all I know about him is the stories I've been told and the pictures. But I mostly knew my mom, and then after that, when she passed, my guardians and their sons, who are my brothers.
Yes, took over. Interesting.
Yeah.
Did that? Do you think that ever affected you, or you didn't even know? So you sort of don't even know how it feels like to just have, you know, the family, the
fact
typical
that I
family
lost
that
my
they tell
my
yes.
Yeah, when I got to know that I didn't have a dad, because you know, you grow up and you're wondering, okay, like 8 years old there, and you're like, I keep seeing the other kids, you know, mom, dad, they talk mom, dad, but I don't have a dad at home. What's going on? And then that's when my mom, I kept asking her questions, and she was like, I think it's time to tell her. And that's when she got out the albums, and she's like, okay, you know, your dad died, he was killed. It was that time, before, he was killed, the regime stuff, because he was pro-Museveni, and it was a time of Obote too. Yeah, so it was a tricky time, and that's how he got killed, because I think they thought he was a spy. I'm also into politics, so I really don't like talking about it. But when I got to know that he died like that, and then there was a book that was actually acknowledging them as, you know, heroes or people who, you know, helped with the change that time. Because after that, I think, after that, some positive things started to happen. And of course, Obote was, overthrown.
Yes,
but I got to feel a gap. Yeah, that, okay, I don't have a dad. But my mom really tried to do the best that she could. I never really lacked, you know. And then I had my uncles and my aunties. There was always family around us. And she made sure I knew my cousins, my aunts, my uncles. So in a way, I never felt alone until she died.
Were you the only child?
Yeah. So when she died, that's when I felt the gap. Like, that's when that's when it hit me like, girl, you are in this world alone, eh? Style up. What are you going to be when you grow up? And I started focusing more on what I really wanted to do, what I want to be, what kind of person do I want to be. I was thinking about that when I was 15, you know. At 15, and that's when I started writing more, because I was writing for school, for the school board. So when she passed, I started writing more, because that's where I would put my pain. I was writing more stories, more poems, and I drowned myself in schoolwork and becoming a prefect and you know, being in entertainment. Like, I just drowned myself in doing something. And I think that's when I started becoming a workaholic, really.
At 15.
A workaholic in school, as in school, you know, you're in the choir, you're in the drama club, you're a prefect, I was a library prefect. So you're like, I was busy all the time. Then, yeah. And here we are.
Yeah.
I'm proud of where I've reached, and I think I've tried to do everything right by me and also for them, like, so that my uncle is like, yeah, that's my girl.
Proud of you.
Yeah.
Yeah. What schools did you go to?
I went to Nakasero Primary School, then Bugema Adventist Secondary School for 4 years. Yeah, I was in an Adventist school, and they love singing, and they sing so well. And then Namasagali College, yeah, for A level. Then Makerere University.
What did you study at Makerere University?
I did Bachelor of Social Sciences.
I did that too.
You did?
And here I am. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, girl.
Yeah, then I majored in sociology and social administration.
Majored in social administration.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, minored in psychology. Yeah.
The other ones that I did was political science as well. But I think it's the sociology has helped me a lot with socialism and trying to get along with stuff in society, understanding society, relating with people. And then there's a whole. The course has a lot that it teaches, and I didn't think I needed it, but it has really come in handy in the world.
Is that what you always wanted to do?
No.
What did you want to do?
With everything that I do, what do you think I wanted to do? Guess.
Doctor? It's always doctor, pilot,
No, with everything I'm doing right now, what do you think I wanted to be?
Actress?
I wanted to do mass communication, journalism, because everything I have done, radio, TV, writing, has been in line with that.
With mass comm.
Yes, but I didn't get into university on government. So for private, I had to choose a course that was not going to be too costly, and that so I chose it with my aunt.
And did you have any regrets?
No, it's okay. Everything works out the way it should. I don't regret taking that course. I think it was to help me with where I was heading to. Yeah.
How did you then get to join Obsessions?
Obsessions, half of them were also from Namasagali College, so they used to come to perform at the college, and that's how I got to see the group the first time. I think I saw them was 1999 or 2000 when I was finishing high school. Then they watched us at the theater. Then they approached me, the managers by then. That was Ronnie Mulindwa and Remy Jasluvega. They approached me and my friend and were like, would like you to join Obsessions. It's a group that we're like, we know you guys, Yeah. They were popular. And they had just started though, because all of them started the group when they were like in vacation.
Yes.
So but that's why I officially joined. It took me 2 years to convince my guardian to let me join. Then I joined when I got to university, when they were going to do the play Cleopatra at the National Theatre, because I helped them do the research. Because I grew up with everyone telling me about the Queen of Egypt.
Yes.
So I was like, my God, let me get you the movie. What? And so I helped with the research of that play, and I really wanted to be a part of it. And that time my uncle was like, you know what, you started university, I might as well just let you do what you want, but school. I'm like, yes, I will not lose focus.
What's one of the most memorable thing about you being in that girl band or girl group?
It didn't start out as a girl group, funny enough. Obsessions was a group of like 30 people,
Wow.
We were many. And then we kept on scaling down, because as you progress, there's some people who find different direction, and some people be like, this is not for me, and so there were those that were breaking away as we continued to grow.
Yes.
And then we ended up staying I think there were 7 boys and 6 girls, or was it 8 boys at first, like boys and girls. Then when the boys did the music, there was a time the boys did the music videos, and then the girls who were backing up, there was the nod your head, dance for me. Then so we had that phase, and then after that the boys also started breaking away. When the boys left, that's when we stayed the girls only. And the plan had been the boys do music first and the girls. So when the boys left, then the girls had to now do the music. So that's when we also were now doing the music, the acting, everything, because it was a full throttle kind of a group, music, dance, drama, all rounded. So that's when we became the 5. And it's like when we became the 5, that's when now people got to know us a lot more, because focusing on 5.
Yes.
And by then also the media was really like really interested. So I think that's how they got to know Five, and then they think it's a girl band, but Obsessions was not a girl band originally. Yeah, I was there for 6 years till we became just girls. And then with the girls, because after that I also had to leave, because that time I was doing so much. I was at radio, I was at
Which radio
African
was that?
Woman, Capital Radio.
Oh, wow.
That's why I started in radio. Then I was at African Woman magazine by then, under Sylvia Worry, and a white guy
Oh,
called...
those were a gem. Whenever you got one,
Yes,
you just fall
it
in
was
love.
a lovely magazine, right?
Yes.
Andre, he used to do the photography, but I was also, part of the owners. I had like 3 things that I was doing. So that time when I had to leave, I felt I was finishing up university.
Yes.
So I felt like it was so much that I was doing, and I had to leave one thing. And that time it was Obsessions, because I felt I'd done so much, like I'd given so much time. And it was at a point where I felt like I'm not adding anything to them, and it's not adding anything to me. There's a time in your life where you feel stagnant, like
Yes.
I love it, but
Yeah.
what next?
Yes.
So that was it for me. And I had to say farewell. They did me a party. It wasn't an easy decision though. Then that's the time now when I left, and then Sheba joined. Yeah, so it was like a whole
Switch.
transition.
Oh, a
Yeah,
transition.
like she goes in and then I leave.
Yes.
So she took my place, and everything else is history. Sheba is amazing, so yeah.
Yeah. Everything works out for your good.
Yes.
There's literally no mistake in life. Now, what was one of the highlights when you're in Obsessions? Like one thing that you really loved and made the decision, but you also sort of missed,
One of my highlights when I was in the group was the theater. Performing in the theater was amazing. It was always a great time, seeing a live audience every day, and then seeing them react, because the stage had the lights and all that, and the story, you hear them get angry with you, you hear them cry, and we used to be the kind of group that we would not, I don't think we used to overact. We used to actually go into moments. And I think that's what also kind of made it easy for me to transition from stage to TV or stage to film. Because we were not like, hey! It was, we were more of, you feel it, you have to relate, and then the audience feels it too. And then, So I used to love the way the audience used to react to us, and then also performing on stage was a rush. It was an adrenaline rush.
Where did you get the confidence to be able to stand in front of all those people, but you also the girl that used to dance for your mom and all that? Where was that birthed from?
I think it just came from the love of doing it. I loved it so much that I loved entertaining people, and I still do, that seeing someone smile, because when at home, let's say they do a party, I'll be the one entertaining, then they give me money. So I kind of love this. Like when I would be on stage, the fear or the shyness would just go away. I just want to perform, and that was my drive. Yet when I'm off stage, like the people who said when they would meet me off stage, I'm a different person. And when I'm on stage, I'm like wild. I'm like, yeah, I'm not the same. Like in my own time, I'm me. And I'm, you're going to find me, hey, like I can't be the same like on stage. So I had that energy on stage. I go off. Just like now, I have it on camera when I'm acting.
Yeah. The other cool thing is that you're called Cleopatra.
Yeah.
Like, your parents were so cool to even give you that name. I don't know if you get people saying that, but it's like people who are called Isabella, like, oh, your parents were cool to get you.
Isabella.
Yes.
Yeah.
So Cleopatra, where does that even come from?
Funny story. It's not even connected to the Queen of Egypt. My mom, my mom named me Cleopatra after an actress character, like a character in the movies. She was called Cleopatra Jones, and she was cool, like very tall, cool with an afro, and she'd kick, she'd fight. She was very good. What was her real name? I can't remember what her real name was, but she was like very popular in that time. I think in the 1970s into the 80s. Then I got to watch her stuff later on in the 90s, but the movies were there. She got me the movies. because in the 80s I was still growing, yeah? Still,
Yes,
so
yes.
I'm an 80s kid. I was born in 1982. So if you know Indiana Jones, have you heard of those films? Like the
think I've
franchise is like how
heard.
you know 007, James Bond. So now there is Indiana Jones. They've even made, they've done
wow.
all newer ones with Harrison Ford. I mean, so there's Indiana Jones and there was Cleopatra Jones. So she named me after that.
Your mom was so cool. Like
So
I
I
was just
think she
thinking.
knew that I was going to end
Yeah,
up
and how
acting.
actually there's like I don't what is it called? How there's like you're named after an actress, then your life exactly turns out to just be that.
There is power in a name.
I know. This time known Jesus' name.
I was
but
told that there is
Cleopatra's name.
I was told there is power. If they called you Jesus, hey, you better live like Jesus. There's
Yes.
power in a name, though. It's
Yeah,
true.
that's interesting.
Have you realized that also people are called Michael are good dancers? Like
I
Michael
thought they would actually
Ross,
be. I thought they would be
Michael
basketballers.
Kasaija, and some of them are basketball. Yeah, but we've had good dancers and they're Michael. Because of Michael Jackson. Or because they end up growing, you know, like, and then Michael the basketballer, you know. Or so you find that some names, especially if they're people who have been maybe in the limelight, there's a way that it kind of attracts you to kind of almost follow the same path. I don't
The
know.
energies.
Yeah, I think the energy, yeah.
So you start to imagine your child and everything being that.
And some people
and then
name
that
them because
births
of that, yeah.
reality. Yes. Oh, interesting.
Have you realized that also people are called Michael are good dancers? Like Michael
I thought they would
Ross,
actually be. I thought they would be
Michael
basketballers.
Kasaija, and some of them are basketball. Yeah, but we've had
Just
good
about how
dancers
you're
and
a
they're Michael.
singer.
Because of Michael
Yeah, Google as well tells us
because
that
they end
you're
up
a
growing,
singer.
you know, like, and
Yeah,
then
because we
Michael,
sang in
Michael the
Obsession.
basketballer, you know.
Uh-huh.
And I used so to you sing find in the
Mm-hmm.
that choir some
in
names,
school.
especially if they're
But
people
can I
who
sing
have
now?
been
I
maybe
don't
in the
know.
limelight, there's a way that it
Yeah,
kind of
I've
not been
attracts you to
singing
kind of
for a while,
almost
so
follow the same
professionally
path.
I
The
don't think I would
energies,
call
I think
myself
the
a singer, but
energies. So you
I
start to
can sing.
imagine your child and
And
everything
I think
being
I would
that.
do it
And
in
some people
movies
name
now
them
because
birth
of that, yeah.
reality,
In
yes.
series,
Oh,
and
interesting.
that
You talked about how
professionally I
you're a singer.
stopped doing it. I
Yeah,
stopped
Google
doing
as
music.
well tells us that
I-
you're a singer.
yeah,
Because
because we sang I
in
did
Obsessions.
pursue music after
Yeah.
and I
Living
used to sing in the
Obsessions,
choir
like-
in school. I did.
But can I sing
I
now?
was
I don't
working on
know.
a solo album.
Yeah,
I've not
I
been
did
singing
too.
for
There
a
was
while.
Party
So
on My
professionally, I don't think I would call myself a singer, but I can sing, and I think I would do it in movies now, in movies, in series, but professionally I stopped doing it. I stopped doing music.
Did you ever want to do music? Like professionally?
I did pursue music after Living Obsessions. Like I did, I was working on a solo album. I did too. There was Party on My Mind. There was, I think, Lay You Down, my singles as well. There was, and I got signed actually to a Kenyan brand by then, a label called Cypher Studios. But in 2014, I got pregnant with my first baby. Towards 2013, the end. Then 2014, I gave birth to her, and after that, there was a switch in me. I just didn't feel like doing music. Yeah. But now I know why. She took the singing juices. She's really creative. She's a dancer. She has so much creativity. Me and her dad double. The dad is Kenyan and he's also in the arts, so
Yes.
I think she can be a force to reckon with. I'm just trying to support her
Yes,
talent.
and
So
nurture
I'm
the
not
gift.
directing her. I just see what she likes. I'm like, oh, you want to? Yeah, I want to try. Okay, try it. We see. Yeah. So yeah, I stopped singing after 2014. Like, but I stopped pursuing music. I love dance. I love singing. I love acting. But I think I was more drawn to the creative side of writing and radio and TV than the music. I felt like it was going to take too much for me. Like you do so much as a musician before you even get the money back.
Exactly.
Unless you're signed to a label that will understand your voice and understand what brand you want to be, and then they push you. You know, like Shiba, she's doing amazing because she finally got into. She also took, if you're to talk to her, she took time to get the right people to, she would go to studio, record songs. So you go through that. You go to studio, you record a song, then you're paying for the studio, you're paying you're paying studio time, then you have to pay for printing the CD artwork, then you go to the clubs to listen and give the DJs. It's a lot. So if you have a team, it makes it easier.
You talked about how the periods where you feel like you stagnated, they help you grow, push you into something else. But sometimes those are also like sort of like the drought season or the desert where you're thinking, okay, what am I exactly doing with my life? Did you have any of those?
No, for me, I think it's always, I call it transition. You know that feeling you get? Like, with me, I always feel it. Like, I don't know, like, it comes to a point where I feel like, I think it's time. In everything I've been doing. I knew even with African Woman, because I think I was African Woman for 6 years as well. Oh, because I was with them from when they started. So I always knew that it's coming to that point where I need to change, or I need to move on. Well, it's never a question of what am I doing in my life right now. It will be more of, okay, what next? What more should I add on to what I have achieved right now? So for me, it's never about, oh, I'm so stuck right now, what do I do? The only time that happened, I think, was again after I had given birth, and it had been 2 years. I think I kind of went away because I was in Kenya, so I kind of like took a break. I'd never taken a break for a year.
Oh, wow.
So that was the first time, and I was like, I'm going to give time to my baby. So I took a year, and then the next year, of course, I would get some work. I did some work in, like, being a judge in a show in DSTV, or so I was doing that in Kenya as well. And then after a while, that's when I was like, okay, I don't know, what am I doing? Okay, I'm a mom now. So, and then I don't want to do the music anymore. Okay, so what do I do? What do I do now? But I was like, I need to act more, because I was acting already. I'd done a lot of acting. So that's the only time I was like, oh wow, what do I do with my life? That was 2015.
Do
Yeah.
you think motherhood changed you?
Motherhood adjusts. You can't stay the same. I don't think it changed me. I'm still the same. Like in my let's say in what I believe in my principles, I'm still the same. But what it changed was more of also my focus and my priorities. Before you have a child, you're kind of thinking, it's me, me.
Yeah.
And then you have a baby, and you
It's
think
us,
about
it's
the
us.
no, it's hard, it's hard.
Oh, really?
In my
Not even us?
Yeah, with
Wow.
me and my daughter, I find myself thinking about her a lot more than me. And they usually say it's safer to think about you first than her, because you have to be healthy, right?
Yeah.
So I'm keen on looking after myself, but I think about more of her needs, her wants, than mine, that I sometimes sacrifice what I want and give her what she needs. You get what I mean?
Yes.
So that's the thing that it has changed in me. Yeah, priorities.
I think I'll get a little bit more personal if you want to actually answer this. I'm just thinking the day you found out that you were pregnant. About the day you found out that you're pregnant. Did you do a test? What was it? And then you're like, was it the vomiting that we watch in Nigerian movies where you're like, yes, something might be happening?
No, I can talk about that, of course.
Okay.
I was shooting Corner. There's a series called Corner where I was a boxer. Yeah, it was an intense one. It was a physically fit role. And I never used to date where I work, ever. That was a principle I had, eh?
Yes.
You know, that's what I say, I never. Then, hey, my baby daddy showed me touch. My daughter's dad. We met on that set. And what I
Was
used
an
to-
actor as well?
He is an actor. He's a stunts director and coordinator. He's good with stunts, and he's established, as a filmmaker too. So we met, but how I got to know, because I was physically fit and all that, I was sleeping a lot. You just feel like you went to sleep. Then when we get a break, I'm like, I said, but why am I sleepy? I'm sleepy all the time.
Yes.
I didn't get sick. Morning sickness, nothing. Just sleepy.
You weren't gaining weight as well?
I didn't gain weight. Imagine now we even premiered Corner here, and that time people just thought I was putting on some weight, because I was small, and that time you were there. But I looked chubby-ish, and I was putting on weight. Hey, I revealed by the time I was saying I was pregnant, because I was lucky that it actually started showing at 7. That's when now it was like.
Oh, you're the kind of people.
That was my pregnancy was not that, but
It's a big M, Mama.
my sickness was sleeping, which is a good thing.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's when I was sleeping a lot, and I was like, you know what? Maybe And then I missed my period, you know, the usual sign, the first. So I'm like, wait a minute. But I think, what didn't we? Okay. And then you're like, what do we do? Then I got to believe those things of 99% are true. Sometimes, hey, my baby was like, I'm coming, mommy, whether you like it or not. So anyway, I did the test, you know, of like, okay, I have to be sure before I tell the dad, you know. 1 test, 2, 3. I said, Wanangi, all positive, was it? Like, this is real, man. This is real. So, you know, like, you're happy, then you're nervous.
Yes.
Then I'm like, okay, I have to tell him.
Yeah.
So when I told him, he was happy. I'm thinking, how are we going to be parents? Wait, you know? There's always a mixed, for me, how it was, I was like nervous. Like, hey. Because there I was like, you know, when you're like at the career, you're like peaking.
The peak, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
and you're like shooting for the stars.
Why?
That time I was like shooting for Hollywood.
Yes,
And so I was like, whoa, okay.
Do you believe she's made you a better person?
I think so, yeah. A much better person.
A much better person?
I listened more.
Oh.
I was a good listener, but I think I also listened more. She's also trained me with patience. I think I'm much more patient than I used to be. Hey, you know, and then she challenges me. She can have questions like, but mommy, why is dad more fun? And I'm like, what do you mean dad is more fun? Like, no, he lets me do what I want. And I said, hey, if I let you do what you want and I don't let you do your homework, I don't let you do whatever, will you succeed? Like, okay. Then later on she'll say, but mommy, you're more responsible. And so she has so much, and you look at that little being and you're thinking, I have to mentor her.
The day you first experienced motherhood, how was that for you? And who was there? You know, because what I know is that in the African culture, your mom is always there, your aunties.
Yeah.
Imagine, was it Kenya or Uganda?
Kenya.
Who was there and that day when you had the scream?
My daughter's dad.
Oh.
He was the one in the hospital in the room with me, holding my hand and making sure everything is okay. You know, it was a natural birth. So I was tired, and all I remember I was saying, is she okay? Is she okay? Is she beautiful? Is she brown? Is she... Like, the first thing I said, okay, because I had her cry. Yeah. But I was so tired. But I swear, that's all I was saying.
Now, you talked about how you were at the peak of your career actually at that time. And you were aiming for Hollywood. Target. Somehow we missed the target.
Never know the target is still there.
Yes,
We're
Remember the actress in Wakanda who acted at 69 years, and I think it had always been her dream. And at 69 is when she got her first role.
Oh, she got her first role?
Yes, 69 years, yes. She's one of the old ladies, I don't want to say old, but like old ladies that are in the movie.
Yeah.
So anytime.
She was one of the elderly.
Yes. So I believe, yes, like you said.
We are on track, I think, yeah, because I've worked on projects that are Hollywood affiliated. I mean, Asking of Scotland, the Netflix series, which is Sense8, that was done by the directors who did The Matrix, all those Matrix with Keanu Reeves.
Madam Autograph?
We will take photos and eat together.
Does
That's
your daughter
enough.
know that she's a daughter of a celebrity?
Oh my God, this is what she said. I don't think she knew in the beginning, and I live normally with her, you know, but she sees what I do. I take her to set, I took her to radio when I was still at radio. So now she tells me at school, I went to the school and all the kids were like, Eunice, the character, Prestige. Then that's when she was like,
Mommy.
like, okay, what's going on? Then she came home and said, Mom, everyone at school likes me because of you. But I told her, I was like, no, they liked you already. Yes. I think they just maybe like you more. Maybe if they like me, then they like you more. Yeah. She's like, yeah, they like me. I was like, I want to be like you when I grow up. That touched me. I told her, you'll be better than me. Yeah, she'll do more than me.
Yes. Where were you, or how has it been when you got the role to be a part of The Last King of Scotland?
I was here, and we were actually at the theatre. I was still in Obsessions, because that's 2006 when we shot the movie, I think. Yeah, it came out that same year as well. So at the theatre staging the play, then the lady who plays my mother in Prestige, she's Joanita, she's the one who came and told us, oh, by the way, there's going to be auditions for a movie. and you guys should audition. And that was like the first film, I was like, okay. Like, yeah, so we go say, hi, my name is, Bubbly. My name is Cleopatra Koheirwe. I love to act, dance, da, 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 da. Like, okay, so yeah, that's all about me. You just do your thing. Hoping they'll call you back. I don't know. I didn't understand the film thing by then. So then they call us. And they're like, oh, would like you to come in again. You. They called me. They called some other people. Then I go. And little did I know that the person I was meeting was actually the director of the show, of The Last King of Scotland. So when I go there, he presents 2 roles. He's like, okay, so we have this role, but this one has a sex scene. And the other one it has a few lines, but this other one seemed like it was the bigger part, So I'm like, I'll take this smaller one. So I was like, I'll do the other one, which was Joy, the role that I finally played. But actually what I chose turned out to be a better role for me, and it propelled me further, because after that I started getting more roles also in the Kenyan productions. So it was an amazing experience, and that's how I got into film.
Interesting. And then the one with the one that you just talked about, the Netflix series?
The Netflix series, I was in Nairobi. I was to and fro. I was Nairobi and here. I'd come back. That was 2016. I'd moved back. So I had to keep traveling back and forth because they do callbacks. They call you back to interview you again, to see which role suits. So I finally got it, but I also auditioned for it, and I went twice. Then the third time, that's when they're like, okay, so you're in. They're getting you this role, and I played a role of a mother with a baby. It's like after I had my baby, I started being a mom in roles as well. Like some of the roles I'd get. Before that, I was playing teenager. Played a teenager into my 30s. You guys.
Wow.
Yeah, so, yeah.
Did you learn anything that maybe the industry hadn't taught you? How different, you learning new things that the Ugandan industry hadn't yet picked up on?
I learned something from every project. Last King of Scotland was my start, and I think that's why I'm as professional as I am, because they were all professionals. I saw how Forrest Whitaker got into character. I saw how Kerry Washington, she's a big deal now, how she was getting into character. James McAvoy, the guy who was with Angelina Jolie in Wanted and all this, they've all blown up, right? So I watched them do their thing, and I was acting next to them. I was with them in scenes. So it was like that being my first appearance taught me so much. And I was like, I can never go lower than this,
So it set the bar high for you.
It set the bar high. And I'm glad that I've been kind of, on that, getting projects that are amazing. And each project has taught me something. Yogera here in Uganda that I did with Donald Mugisha, I acted as a deaf mute. I couldn't hear or speak, So I was a mute. And that taught me to shut out the rest of the world. You're in a scene, or you go shoot at a street where there's so much happening, and the camera is like there. Producer Jacinta is saying, we are watching you. We're watching you do your thing.
Producer Jacinta.
Can you imagine? So that's what happened. The camera, you know what the camera is, but the people around you don't know you're being filmed, but you have to do your character, do your role. And that was Yogera for me. State Research Bureau with Matt Bish. Hey, we shot it in Jinja. It was about the times almost the same, like what happened to my dad, That's why I took part in that project, because it was also about regimes,
27 guns.
27 guns. The one for Natasha Museveni, It was a good movie too. I just feel like it didn't get the love that it deserved, or it didn't get the mileage because of the way people had negativity towards, the president then. But I think it was an amazing film. Really? And if they had just held on it a little longer and released it a little later, I think it would have been amazing. The 27 Guns was a good film.
Are there opportunities that you applied for and there was just nothing, and you still went back with your head high?
Yes.
And believed that tomorrow would be a better day?
Yes.
Really?
Yes.
Cleopatra Koheirwe?
You get rejection sometimes, but I think rejection is not a bad thing. Sometimes it's because it's not for you, and maybe also it's not who they are looking for. You're not who they want.
Projects are very specific.
Projects are specific. You go. I did an audition for Beneath the Lies, I was in Kenya. No, not Beneath the Lies. Queen of Katwe. I was still in Kenya. Then they called us in as well, because they know like this one. Then they'll say, okay, come through for closed auditions. Closed auditions are those that are for people they already know in the industry. You're not going to line up with everyone. Like, it's not Kayola lining. They know that we're calling specific people, and they'll come in, which we look at them, and we know what role we can assign them. So I auditioned for Queen of Katwe when I was in Nairobi, and I didn't make it. And that time, I think I was still nakawere. I was still nakawere. My confidence was a bit lacking. Also, the audition scene, I felt like there was too much happening in that scene. I didn't feel like I didn't feel the audition as me. So if I didn't feel it, then I just knew I wasn't gonna get called.
Yes.
Yeah. So I got rejected. I didn't like get a call back. So that's also like a rejection, right? Then you can go try to get a job in something. And maybe somebody's like, oh yeah, we'll call you back. And they never call you back. And you're thinking, wow, like, why are you not calling? Or maybe even text. Even now, like some people, you can think that I get yeses everywhere I go. But there's some things I would want to do, or some things some people I'd want to work with. And then somehow it just never works out. Or they give you, like, they make it seem like it will, yeah. And nothing ever works out. So for me, I'm like, it's okay. On to the next. Yeah.
Where did you get that attitude from? On to the next. Tomorrow is a better day.
Hey, I think life just teaches you to not over-expect and think that everything will go your way. And I think after I lost my mom also, I realized you can't control anything. Okay, like okay, what? How? That was my backbone. That was the person I knew was going to be with me forever, or So when that happened, I just was like, "Oh, you can never know with this life."
What are some of your pet peeves? Like, no, you can't do that.
I don't
and
like,
because they don't resonate well with your values or principles.
I don't like when people are mistreated. I don't like seeing other people get mistreated.
Have you ever been mistreated?
I'm a fighter, like any kind of not
am
physical
not-
fighting, but I'm the kind of person who, if I sense an injustice, I will speak out on it. And if you're kind of trying to do that to me, I might look meek or whatever, but I'll be like, no, you can't do that. You can't do that. I'm the kind of person who will walk up to somebody who has just disrespected a friend to tell them you have to apologize without having, like it's rational of come on, like you can't do that. I have a friend who stopped me from doing that. They thought I was going to fight because I was like, oh my God, what did they say to her?
Yes.
You can't do that. So I don't like those kind of, the mistreatment I mean is when somebody is really rude and disregarding, and then they talk down to you. Everybody matters.
Yes.
I don't talk down to my nanny. I don't talk down. So for me, everybody matters. And how you treat somebody in the eyes of, like where my daughter is, that's how she'll treat them. That's how she'll treat other people. So I don't want that for her. And I want her to know you don't have to be weak. You don't have to take, crap.
Yes.
Eh?
She's not watching? Hope she's not watching me.
You don't have to take, bad stuff because you're trying to be good. But you have to stand your ground when you feel like something doesn't stand right by you. You just respectfully say, no, you can't do that.
What's that one thing that you can never forget that you did when you're a child or when you're young?
I can never forget this. If my aunt is watching, I don't know how old, maybe 10 or 9. And my aunt, we used to stay, like my mom was upstairs and my aunt was downstairs. And then we were going to the beach. They were taking us to the beach, me and them, and they come my cousins. And so excited. So I get down, I was in the car. Then I realized I've forgotten my hanky. I go back upstairs. But now I get to pick the hanky, and those were days when there are no mobile phones. So I come back down and the car had gone. What I'd learned from that time was never to be late. Never to be late. In fact, by the way, those things where I say, make a guy wait. Make a guy, I'm always on time. I'm always ready. And it's because I was like, that time taught me, oh my God, I thought they would wait, So that's why I also hate waiting.
Yes.
But I learned never to wait. And if you're in the car, you're in the car. I have to be ready with everything.
That reminds
get
me
in
of
the
Home
car.
Alone. You've watched Home Alone?
Yes,
How
when they left the boy.
Yes!
I related with that movie. You don't know. I was home alone, by the way. Yeah, because
The whole
everybody
time?
went out to the beach.
Oh.
Yeah, so I learned that. Then what other thing did I do in school, primary school? Those things of you're doing an exam. It was an exam, like it wasn't yet that final test. No, I think it was the final exam test for P6. So this person taps me that they want a rubber. So I have to tap the person in front, rubber, then pass it back. And the teacher finds me passing back a rubber. Then he comes, slaps me, and tears my paper, which I'd finished. It was SST, and I knew I was going to get above 90. That made me become these things of someone is looking at your work. You could say that I became more of those kids who would even do this when they're writing. You don't want to risk that you're going to say you're cheating.
Yes.
I would never, I feared cheating. I could not cheat in a class. I would see people writing answers on their thighs and I would just focus on my desk because that experience of P6, I was like, never again, never. I don't want my work to ever be torn. And I had a dash at the end of the term.
Oh, wow. Now, you're part of a hit series, Prestige. I think every home, once you're in every home every evening, Wednesday or whatever day you get
Monday to Friday.
Exactly. Monday to
8:30
Friday,
PM.
8:30 p.m. Everyone is watching Prestige. So focused, whether it's children or older people.
It's a
And you're
family
part
show.
of that. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, you're doing great. So proud of you. Even if it's just Sharon Chondisha, but the whole world. And Uganda watching. How did you get the opportunity to actually be a part of this series?
It was Nana Kaga who called me up for auditions, and she was like, there's a role that I think you can do. It's an older role, but I think you can nail it. Because the character I play is 10 years older than in my real life. So I was like, okay, so because she has two grown kids, one is 25, another is 18. In real life, I have an 8-year-old. I think if I'd had kids early, maybe the oldest would be around 15, right? So, yeah, so that's how I went to the audition. Did a read through, and they were like, yeah, I think let's have her. And then later on, I met the producer, Nathan Magola, and we were already now working on, okay, yeah, we need to work on this today. It was exciting. We shot the pilot during COVID lockdown. You guys, COVID lockdown, we shot the pilot, but we managed. It was a hard time and an uncertain time, we're not sure. And but I was so happy to be a part of a project, and I was so happy because I'd prayed for a project that is again on DSTV. I was intentional about my prayer that I want to said, God, give me another project that's like Changes or Corner that's on DSTV that will also be running for a long period of time. And Prestige came up. So in a way, it was like another thing that came because I don't know, because I prayed about it or because it was intentional. It's all God's doing, I believe. So, and here we are today. And Prestige has won awards for Best TV Series twice at the Uganda Film Festival.
Wow.
Yeah.
Do you love your work?
I love my work. I love my work. I enjoy it every day. This is the one job I can do every day and not get tired. Okay, you can get tired, but not be like, I want to quit. No, to be like, I will keep going.
You're a very busy woman.
Yes.
How do you even juggle work, family, your baby, my me time, you know?
My me time, me and my daughter plan that. Okay, it's me time. Then she's like, okay, mommy. But every time I'm home, I work and I go home. I don't party much. If I'm to go out, then it's related to film work, or it's to celebrate my friends, like their birthdays, or it's something. There's a reason why I'm out, and that's how I've always been anyway. I go out with intention. I don't just go, here we go. I'm not that random, but. Also sometimes a good, spontaneity is good sometimes. The few times I've kind of just gone of like my friend says, come on, let's go. I'm like, oh. You go and you're like, yeah, you have a blast and you release all the stress, because you've met different people, you've mingled, and it's good. So please don't be too strict on yourselves. Have some life.
Yes, do have some life. Now, one thing while you're talking about life that can't go unsaid is how beautiful you look. I don't even want to say your age or anything, but Google has that. And I'm just thinking, wait, how do you look like that?
Girl.
What are you eating? What are you
Did
doing?
you say you're not going to say my age? I
Yeah,
love saying my age.
you
I
do.
love growing older each year because it's a blessing to grow older.
Yes.
I pray that I make it to like 90.
Uh-huh.
I'm 40 years old and I'm proud to
Cleo.
say it. And I'm glad you're saying I look good. Eh?
Yes, you do.
Thank you so
You do. How do you
much.
take care of yourself? Just a secret
I'm
to the people out there.
Okay, now I have a skincare routine, which I
You
never
do
used to
that one?
have. Hey, after getting on this set where you have makeup almost every day,
Yes.
the makeup artist was like, you need to find a skincare routine. I'm like, skincare. Then all of a sudden, everywhere you look is skincare routine, skincare. So I had to get a skincare routine.
Yeah.
Simple things that work with my skin, moisturizer, a cleanser. I fear products,
Toner.
so I don't have
You
a
don't
toner.
toner?
I don't know what it. I don't know. I just have the usual things.
Yes.
But even now, I can't think of them often because I'm still adjusting to having a skincare routine. But it's also good to take care of your health. I don't really like having makeup when I don't have to have it on. And then I don't sleep with makeup on. And then I like to eat healthy. I eat only when I'm hungry, and I don't eat a lot of junk. And when I have time, I work out. But also, I think also my mom's genes, because she was gorgeous. I used to look at her and say, I want to be like you when I grow up. So I think I got that from her because also my family keeps saying I have her grace, and that's how she was. Like she was, yeah. Beautiful.
Lastly, do you think right now if mom was here and dad, you'd be like, Mom, see, I made it. Look at what's happening.
Yeah, but I believe they see it. I believe there are angels in heaven. I believe in heaven. Eh?
What do you think they're saying?
We're proud of you, girl. We are rooting for you. In fact, sometimes I think they protect me from danger with their wings.
Yes. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much, Cleo. Thank you, Super Soul Sister.
Thank
We
you for
loved
having
having you. We
me.
had, I can't stop listening to whatever you're saying. Now, thank you so much to everyone that has watched. We pray that you've been blessed. And at least you pick one or two things. Always believing in yourself, knowing that there's a better day tomorrow. Whether you're rejected, something better is brewing up because God is on your side. Thank you so much for watching Super Soul Sister. My name is Sharon Chomjisha. Bye-bye.